is the bird. No, I mean, the map, we're thrilled, right? The map is gorgeous. This is quickly turning into one of my favorite, like, we chose 6 maps to remake.
How did you do that? I heard you talk about 6 maps. How, I mean, with the 100 or so maps, how did you decide that these are the ones we're going to do?
It was, I mean, it was interesting. Obviously, in many cases, people have their favorites, right? But there are some that are kind of slam dunks, and actually Sanctuary was really big on that list, right? Like, this is just a map that people love.
Look at the lighting.
I know, this is a spectacular map. And so, yeah, Sanctuary was just really easy. When we sat down and started having the conversations, this was on everybody's list. And I couldn't be happier with how it's come out. I mean, the team's done an amazing job. The map looks gorgeous. But in all of this, with all the changes, we've been able to keep the flow the same. So that map flow, the play flow that people remember, is almost 100% identical.
And I want to point out, you said this, I believe you said this up on stage, but if you haven't, we'll say it right now. If people love this, they see all this, but they're going, oh, what have you done to my map? I want the old one back. You've got that. You have the option. Absolutely.
So whereas we chose 6 to remastered, the original versions of those maps
are
still there.
Yeah.
So get in them, go have fun, go to town. But I mean, what's great about these multiplayer maps, right? 60 frames per second, 1080p.
Oh my God.
You can see the smoothness. You can just see how crisp and beautiful these maps are. The vistas are gorgeous. And we've done a couple of other interesting things.
It feels, because of the way the lighting is, it feels completely different.
It really does. And I mean, the lighting is even, you saw when Dennis was coming around with like kind of the sun coming up in the bloom, you can actually in some points get blinded as you're looking up. And there's something interesting.
All right, now wait a minute. Any video gamer at home sitting knows exactly what to do. It's red. Dennis, shoot it, please.
You gotta shoot it, right?
And what happened? Oh, look at that.
Isn't that. So this is one of the new things we've done on the maps. All of these maps have a dynamic element.
Okay.
So it's going to let you do something to change the flow of the map a little bit. So in this case, you shoot that, the waterfall is going to start to come over it, and that changes your sight lines, right? So you could be inside, or you can have someone coming at you, and it just changes that flow a little bit. And we've got those themes. That theme is intact with all of our maps. There's going to be something that you can do to change the flow of that map.
Now, in this case, since it's a kind of a symmetrical map, does the same? I can see the red on the other side. Same thing happens on the other side to each base.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever base you're in, we've got the water theme for this one. So in this case, as Dennis runs over, blasts it. We'll see his aim's pretty good.
There we go. There it is. So now, will the water keep going down through the entire match, or does it reset?
It will eventually reset.
I see.
And that adds some strategic elements to it as well. Okay. Sometimes you may want it, sometimes you may not.
All right.
But yeah, I can stare at this map for hours. I just love how beautiful this map is.
Now, I had a question here from Twitter, sitting right here on my surface. At WebbyStimp327 asks, what was the best part of making the upcoming game?
Oh, man. I mean...
Is it like this, being able to remaster things?
Some of it is this, right? I mean, a lot of it is weird.
Look at the water.
It's gorgeous, I know.
God.
I mean, we're all working at 343 because we love Halo, right? And playing Halo is what got so many of us into 343, and in many cases into the business in the first place. So for us to be able to go back and take a map like this and make it better and improve upon it, it's just a tremendous privilege. It's just a whole lot of fun, and the whole team's just having a blast making it.
There's more water, and we're going to go inside, and it just goes right through. Now, I mean, there's so much going on here. That HUD feels and looks so familiar. We can see the radar, and I love the fact that you kept everything the same. I mean, even the the waypoints in the lower left-hand corner near the radar.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, whether the multiplayer or the campaign,
there's a turret.
There's that turret. I mean, that was key for us. Was that ability to bring it into the modern era, but make sure that gameplay is the same. Because, you've got your favorite memories of Halo 2.
Oh, I sure do.
I've got mine, and we want to enhance those memories. We don't want to take them away.
Right.
So that gameplay is identical. It's how you remember.
Charge that up. Charge it up and let her go.
Here we go.
There we go, yeah. God, it looks so great. Now this is a little different because there used to be an energy sword.
Good eye, yeah. So this is one of the changes we made here is we've replaced the energy sword with the rocket launcher.
Okay.
And
in this particular map.
In this particular map.
Right.
And we've had a tremendous amount of fun. We had some pros playing this map.
I want to see the needler. I need to see. Pink
think we
mist.
just passed it. Yep, there it is.
So yeah, there.
There it is.
That's great.
I mean, what's great here is you're also. I mean, we're not hearing it now, but we've redone the audio as well. Okay. So you're not just getting these new visuals. We've re-recorded the weapon sounds, even like the footfalls, the music. So the game just sounds better than it ever has. It looks better than it ever has, and it's just an amazingly fun map.
Now you talked about remastering. Obviously visually remaster it in the audio. I mean, how difficult is that to go in and kind of work on these iconic moments and the map flow and so forth. I mean, because you talked a little bit earlier, we were talking off the air about Max.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Max Hoberman, which some people may not know, but they certainly know his work.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you played the original Halo 2, you know Max's work. Max was the original multiplayer. Max Hoberman at Certain Affinity, who worked with us on these 6 new maps.
Right.
Max was the original multiplayer designer on Halo 2, so it was a great experience. As soon as we started this project, I flew down to Austin, and Max and I were just chatting.
So Max has his own company now.
Yes, which is Certain Affinity, and located down in Austin. We've been working with them for years.
Now, what was it like to go to Max and go, hey, Max, remember that map you made about 10 years ago? How about you redo it?
It was wild, right? I mean, Max just geeked out immediately because we were just sitting having a drink. It was like, okay, Max, what would you like to have done? And you couldn't, either because you didn't have the tech or you didn't have the time or you didn't have the tools. And which is just great because Max will just immediately start launching into stories.
Right.
And, oh, yeah, and we couldn't do this and we didn't have time to finish that.
Right.
And, we just got into this amazing, great partnership, this great dialogue with Certain Affinity of things they wanted to do, things we wanted to do. And this is the result, right? You've just got a gorgeous map that plays how you remember.
I mean, look at the walls there.
Exactly.
You see the water just coming down there.
It is gorgeous. The detail on this
luscious.
map is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I often say that I do think this is going to be one of the best, most popular Halo maps ever shipped.
Now, you said you're going to do 6 of them.
Yes.
So let's talk about the ones you've announced already.
Okay, so what have we talked about so far? So we talked about this. We talked about Ascension. Dennis, what were the other 2 we've announced? I don't want to get into jail here. Ascension, Sanctuary, Coagulation's the other one.
Known as Blood Gulch.
Blood Gulch.
So those oldies.
We're going to stop there because we're both worried we're going to say the wrong one.
Totally get that. But there's going to be a total of 6 eventually.
Yes.
You guys, with hand-loving care, have remade these using the power of Xbox One. And I want to be clear, this is the first time that you'll ever be able to play all of the Master Chief games, all the Halo games, on one console.
On one console, on a single generation, right? Because franchise has been around a long time and it has spanned so many consoles.
Right.
So when we started working on this project, that was a big part of it. Like, how do we take all of these games and bring it to one console? Tremendous opportunity.
I see a reset here, so we're coming back down. Yeah.
And what's great about the Xbox One, we have so much more power to work with.
Right.
I mean, we couldn't do this before, right? Like, people get excited about all of the games unlocked, everything on one disc. And this is really something we couldn't do before the Xbox One.
Well, I got to tell you, I have not had a chance to get hands-on time with this game yet because you guys have been real busy. But I was downstairs where you're setting up where people are going to get their hands on, and at Gamescom, people were geeking out over the menu system.
It's funny, we liked it. We're like thrilled. People are so excited about that menu system. But there's just something so powerful to people, I think, emotionally, just looking at it and saying, like, it's all here.
And let's talk about that real quickly. I mean, I don't know if you, Dennis, if you can back out and show it, but it allows you to go into different playlists, right?
Absolutely.
And talk about that.
One of the advantages we've got of unlocking everything at the beginning is we can create some really fun playlists. So you can move through the game however you want. Everything's
look at that screen.
unlocked.
That's so beautiful.
But by having the playlist, we can do things like, okay, we're going to have playlists where you play all the vehicle missions from Halo 1 through 4, just back to back.
Okay.
Or, all of the space missions, or all of the Warthog missions, or I think Dennis's personal favorite, where we've just got start the first level at Halo 1, work all the way through to the end of Halo 4, just like in one power grind through the whole thing. So, and we're going to have more of those after we launch as well.
Right. Well, we're probably going to, we don't know. Unfortunately, I just got the note here in my ear that we're out of time. So, we're, if you're coming to Gamescom, just remember that you are going to be able to play this on the floor. You can check out the menu system yourself.
Check it out. Yeah, you can come. You can play Ascension and Sanctuary.
And the game itself. So you'll have Ascension
and Sanctuary playable on the floor. Come check it out. We're going to be running matches Wednesday through, right through the end of the show.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. So I want to thank you for coming by. Awesome for you to come directly right above us and run down here to join us.
It's a nice run.
All right, Graham, you've got some new